Well, it's happening. UFC is coming to the White House June 14th. This is in commemoration of America's 250th anniversary. It also happens to be on Flag Day, which is also President Trump's 80th birthday. President Trump, we know, is a big fan of UFC. UFC put out these brand new renderings of what it's going to look like. This is supposed to be an immersive fan experience that goes beyond the main stage. And the Washington Post is reporting upwards of 4,000 spectators on the South Lawn. The reports are that UFC is going to front the bill, including if there's grass that's ripped up as a result of all the heavyweight that's involved, pun intended. A lot of people are checking it out. The National Park Service put out notice that this event's right here. It's not normally here along Constitution Avenue to get ready for this event. Secret Service, no doubt, going to have to do their own specific screenings.
So if you haven't been paying attention to what's going on with the administration, what's going on with Daddy Trump, right? As of late, they're building a whole UFC stadium on the White House lawn. Listen, man, I don't know about y'all, but I believe this is setting up the stage for what I believe to come to America, which is the Hunger Games. And y'all may think I'm joking, right? Y'all, I said that a little lightheartedly, but I truly believe that in due time, we're going to see the Hunger Games enter into America. This is exactly what this looks like, right? Didn't the Roman Empire do something exactly like this with the gladiators? This is exactly what this is. And he's laughing, or the people, you know, in those high places, they're sitting back and laughing at Americans because, quite frankly, it is funny, right? It is funny that we allowed this to happen. It is funny that so many people are just dim-witted and dumb. It is funny, you know, and quite frankly, I think I will sit back and laugh in y'all faces too while I sit here and build a whole UFC stadium, right, for my birthday, and for, what is it, the 250-year anniversary of America. Listen, y'all, the Hunger Games are coming. It's coming. It's inevitable. Just think about it like this, right? They're eradicating all the jobs. All the jobs are disappearing, right? That only leads to chaos, destruction, and violence, especially when people can't provide for themselves, especially when people don't have any money coming in, especially when people are starving. This is only a recipe for things to get ugly. And then you add on top of that, right? Everybody already hates each other, right? We already see the division, right? It's black versus white, immigrant versus this, right? Left versus right. They're already setting up the stage for exactly what they want to happen. And listen, I hate to be Mr. Costradamus, right? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Hunger Games is coming to America, right? I can't say when, but as long as AI and automation is trending in the direction that is trending, I'll say it'll be here sometime soon. And if you really want to know my opinion about it, I think, quite frankly, Americans will be the first ones to pop it off first, right? And as I've told y'all, because everybody loves to brag about their guns. Everybody loves to say, well, we got the most guns and, you know, we're invadable. Bro, listen, that line of thinking is just outdated now. America doesn't have to be invaded from the outside. America has already been invaded. Don't y'all understand that? America has already been invaded, foreign and domestic, right? And then those two lines, you don't even know who's foreign and who's domestic at this point. You don't know who's working for who, right? And what I think is, I think they're going to go ahead and make fun out of this situation, go ahead and make fun out of the destruction of America, out of the deconstruction of America, you know, while they can, right? And, you know, you just have to wonder, you know, a lot of things that are going on, a lot of things that they've been doing it's just, it makes no sense, right? It doesn't matter if we're talking about the UFC stage. It doesn't matter if we're literally talking about Trump naming stocks that, you know, he's about to invest into right on live national TV. They're literally manipulating the market. It's just like, well, what is really going on here? Nothing seems logical about anything that is going on. And I've been racking my brain trying to just figure all of this shit out. And the truth of the matter is, there is no figuring this out. Everything is happening exactly how it needs to happen. Everything is happening exactly the way that it needs to happen, right? Their goal is to produce enough chaos to confuse the masses. Their goal is to produce enough confusion to where you can't figure it out. The goal is to keep on giving you news after news after news to where you just discombobulate it and you just go ahead and let it go. And that's exactly what's been happening. And I'm sorry to say, and I don't mean to sound dense. I don't mean to sound like a butthole or whatever name in the book that you want to name me. But I say this all the time. Americans en masse are idiots, okay? The educational system in America, or the public indoctrination camps in America, really failed the American public, right? Not too many people know anything about finances. Not too many people know anything about history, right? Not too many people know anything about anything. And especially for the ages, you know, under 35, oh, those are absolute idiots, right? Under 35, they're absolute imbeciles. And it's only going to get worse from here, folks. And when you have ignorance running in mass, that just gives a recipe for unnecessary violence, right? That gives, you know, the recipe for unnecessary hatred, right? And we all know how this story ends, the same way it always ends, right? When you have ignorance, when you have, you know, a lack of education, when you have people who are out here that are desperate, not only desperate for money, but they're desperate for attention, they're desperate for notoriety, they're desperate just for love. I mean, we're completely all out of whack. And y'all are telling me that we aren't going to see some sort of Hunger Games in the future? Yeah, I beg to differ. I beg to differ, right? I think it's on the way soon. And then especially we're going to see a mass spike in homelessness, right? Because joblessness is going to come with homelessness, right? They operate side by side. And yeah, we do have the most guns, you know, per capita in the world, right? But like I say all the time, why does the guns actually matter, right? Do the guns actually matter when you're not going to turn it on the right people? And you think the government isn't well aware about how many guns are circulating and how many guns are doing this and what household has how many guns, unless you producing guns with the printing machine, right? With the 3D printing machines, the government knows exactly how many guns. They've already prepared for this. They probably even prepared for the guns that's not accounted for. Okay, let me take a sip of this coffee. But to think that we're entering into a time period where a sitting president is literally mocking us in real time. To think that we're in a situation to where we have a sitting president that is literally building a gladiator stadium right on a White House lawn, and nobody is batting an eye, right? Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is like, oh no, this is, well, and like I say all the time as well, if there were ever going to be a revolution, right? If there was ever going to be an uprising, it would have happened when that list came out, right? And I'm going to keep on saying that until I'm out of breath. If there were ever to be a revolution, if there were ever to be an uprising, it would have happened when that list came out. So the fact that that list came out and they literally told you that I'm an evil son of a bitch and I like kids and I like doing despicable things to children, not only in a, oh, okay, we're not going to go that far, but you know what the list encompasses, right? So they're literally telling you in real time that we're a bunch of evil sons of bees. And nobody, absolutely nobody picked up a gun. Not you January 6ers, not you dang gone Proud Boys, not none of you weak son of a bitches. None of you, you so-called patriots, you don't tread on me folks, where y'all at? Huh? Where y'all at? Nobody said anything, right? In fact, more people made excuses for him. And what I had to understand and what I had to conclude is, you know, most people, they vouch for their own demise, right? If you're a people watcher like me, if you love to study people like I do, you know exactly where I'm going with this, right? Especially if you studied America and Americans, especially in this current state. We love our own demise, right? Just think about, you know, what we're going through right now. How many people are in debt, right? We love debt, right? The country loves debt. The people love debt, right? The poor people included love debt. We operate on debt. And that's why we're in so much trouble. That's why we're in the predicament that we're in, because people love to use money that they don't have. Secondly, look at the state of our physical health, right? We're probably the sickest country in the world, right? Not just physically either. We're probably the sickest country in the world spiritually as well, mentally as well. We have a lot of people walking around here with undiagnosed mental illnesses, right? We have a lot of people walking around here. We have a lot of sloppalopasauruses walking around here. We have a lot of people walking around here with diabetes, high blood pressure, right? Untreated heart disease, all kinds of stuff, right? And we vouch for our own demise because we continue to eat the food. There is no uprising, you know, from the people that puts the corporations and the government in their place. Stop poisoning our food. Stop selling cigarettes, right? There is no fight, right? There is no fight. But guess what? The fight will be amongst each other. That's what we're saving this fight for. Do y'all believe me? I'm telling you, right? I haven't been wrong yet, right? I haven't been wrong yet. No, we're not going to fight the government. We're not going to fight the alphabet boys. We're not going to fight the people on that list, right, who are abusing children, abusing girls, and all kinds of other stuff. We're not going to fight those people. But guess what? We will fight each other. Isn't that something? That's so crazy. We stay in such a backward society. Isn't that crazy? Right? Man, that, like, how can you even blame the elites at this point? Right? How can you even blame them? Right? For me, this makes me want to become an elite. Right? This makes me want to become an elite because how can you blame them? Right? Just think about just looking at it from a bird's eye view, right? You're looking and seeing what's going on. You hope somebody stands up. You hope a country stands up to you and be like, you know what? That's enough, right? That's enough. We're not taking anymore. You hoping that somebody stands up and do what they need to do, right? But in reality, nobody's going to do a damn thing. So why not keep on pushing the envelope? Why not keep pushing the envelope? If I see a bunch of fools, right? A bunch of fat sloppaloposaurus fools. That's all that the country encompasses, right? Fat sloppaloppa idiots, right? If that's all that there is, why not just become an elite? Go ahead and take your share in the steak, right? And just call it a day, right? And listen, I'm just giving out my thoughts. I'm just, thinking as I'm speaking right now. I see why some people sell out. Like, people got on, and I'm not a fan per se of Nikki Fuentes, But Nicki has changed his position on a lot of things. And a lot of people say he's sold out. But Nicki has came out on his podcast and said many times, you know, that his following is a bunch of idiots, right? He's came out and said that, you know, all they want to do is sit around and complain about things that they can change themselves. All they want to do is sit around and watch him all day. All they want to sit around and do is be broke, not get any women, right? Try to make illogical points. Nicki said that. Nicki said that. So guess what? He changed his position, right? Some may say he sold out to whoever had that bag, right? And wrote him that check. But at this point, why not? Why not sell out? Well, quote unquote sell out. Because if you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of your family, it's really fuck everybody else, to be honest with you. Right? It's really fuck everybody else. Because here's what I came to realize. Most people are not going to do what's in the best interest of themselves anyway. They're just simply not. Right? How many gyms that we have all across America? How much knowledge do we have access to? We have Google, we have Gemini, we have all the AIs, we have all kinds of stuff out here readily available with information. Hell, you even have cheat codes now for you losers who like to take the cheat codes with your body. They got Ozempic and all of that stuff. They got the GLP-1s for you sloppaloposaurus. But guess what? There's still a bunch of sloppalopasauruses walking around here. So that can only mean one thing, that nobody wants to do what's in their best interest. So fuck it. Fuck it. And that's why I continue to say, you might as well just let the ship burn. You might as well just go ahead and let the Titanic crash into the iceberg, because we already seen what happens to people who want to save the day, right? The saviors don't get nothing but 1 minute of silence, right? The saviors only get 1 minute of silence. Can everybody bow their head so we can have a moment of silence for Superman, right? That's it. There's nobody look, the people who could step up, they're like, fuck that shit. Where the bag at? Where the money at? We're gonna save ourselves, right? We jumping ship. And that's exactly what a lot of people are doing. Because listen, there are so many people that I've tried to give free information to. You know how many people I try to give free information to, right? And they turn around and want to fight me tooth to nail about the information, even when I have proof of the information and the knowledge working in my best favor. I'm not giving away any more free information, because even if you give it out for free, people are still not going to do what's in their best interest, right? Most people still not going to do what's in their best interest. So in that case, you might as well go ahead and pay for it, because guess what? Most people are still not going to do what's in their best interest. And I'm just calling the fact. I'm calling it how I see it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Do you think the Hunger Games is coming to the United States of America? I think we're right there. I think that eventually we're going to turn those guns on ourselves eventually. The hate is so strong. The division is so strong. The tension is so strong. And then you have mass layoffs. You have people who can't find jobs. And then the people who do have jobs can't afford to live in this country. So everybody around here is motherfucking angry. I'm telling you, the Hunger Games is coming. And the president is letting it be known how he's setting it up, right? They give you a glimpse first, right? They give you a glimpse first before they go ahead and roll it out on a massive level. But y'all let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is your framework. And PFP life is how you should live. In purpose, in freedom, and in power. Listen, if you want more knowledge, if you want more wisdom, if you want some more of this predictive analytics, right? If you want more of this, come over to the Patreon, sign up for the Patreon, and come over there and join the family. Listen, we're keeping tracks of stocks, AI crypto, right? We're talking about blockchain. I have a whole group in the inner circle. We're making applications, right? We're learning AI. if you want to join a group full of like-minded individuals who are headed in the same direction as you are, let's take it a step further. Let's come on and join the inner circle. You can only get through the inner circle through the Patreon. We're having our first networking event in Cartagena, Colombia at the end of this year. You can still join us if you want to. But you got to be a man or woman putting in that work, right? Doing things in this life, right? This is not a joke. We have a group of productive members, high intensity members who are putting in that work and doing the things that they need to do to be able to provide for themselves and to maximize their lives. So come and join, hit that link in the description, and I'll see you guys over there. Peace.
I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP Life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.